Shotgun to shotgun.
Doc Shotgun.
Greetings, everybody. While they're working in the background, putting up our Balogun African Martial Arts Institute banner. Just like to greet everyone. I'm Balogun Ojetade. I am the master instructor of the African Martial Arts Institute, co-chair of the Urban Survival and Preparedness Institute. I'm happy to be here with Afrikan Balogun, who is master instructor of the African Martial Arts Institute. And I'm here with Balogun, assistant instructor, and Bumi on this side, assistant instructor, and full instructor Amosun is somewhere taking care of business, and he'll be right now. So we're about to get into it. The way we're going to do this is I'm going to go through some principles. We're talking about African martial arts and sovereignty. So I'm going to go through some of the principles that make a martial art African, okay? Because we can say, well, I'm an African, I do Kung Fu. That means the Kung Fu is African. No, absolutely not. Because the principles are different. That's not to insult you. It's just to be 100% real with you, because this is important, particularly during this time, for our very survival. Because if we're not thinking as African warriors when it comes to our survival, we're thinking as somebody else, then we're making the wrong moves. And it's going to cost us dearly. Okay. So we're going to get right into that immediately. A couple of the things, one thing I want to make clear. I don't deal with esotericism, mysticism, magic. I was doing a technique. Person says to me, "You're a chi master." No, we don't even deal with chi. Okay. Because of the things I was doing. I said, no, I just know what I'm doing. I'm a combatant. And as a combatant, I understand physics. I understand the forces of nature and how they're used. As an African, it's the same things. There's no separating the two. Many of us study African traditions, particularly Ifa. I'm what you would call a Babala, also a priest of Obatala. That is the Orisha of peace, of laughter. But that does not preclude me being a warrior, either of those. So we'll hear the terms Iwakwele, Iwarere. Iwakwele is something that I have for my students, for my wife, for my children. That's gentle character. They will argue, say I'm not gentle with them, right? And that's because I also strive to have Iwarere, more than all of that, which is balanced character. You are not supposed to be gentle with your enemy. Balanced character says, if somebody kicks in the door, comes in and tries to harm one of us, I rip him to shreds. If I stand by and say, well, I have gentle character and watch these sisters get raped, then that in itself is bad character. That is not the character of a warrior. That is not the character of a man or woman to allow that to happen. So we have to understand there's a difference. And excuse me, I know the babies are there. So I'll tone down how I normally talk. But there's a difference between gentle character and balanced character. In Africa, in fact, they talk about Iwarere and Isheshe. They don't talk so much about Iwakwele. That has been pushed to us. It was written by a man named David Wilson in his book, Iwakwele, a white man who wants, of course, it's expedient for us to be gentle. When a white man how he wants us to act, he wants us to be gentle, so he writes Iwakwele. I hope you understand. That's really where the big brouhaha about saying Iwakwele comes from, not from Africa, because in Africa they say Iwarere. I want to make that clear because I'm going to be teaching you how to dispatch your enemy. And I don't want you to think that that is outside of the character of what a good African should do.
Excuse me, Baba, can I interrupt you real quickly?
Yes.
Don't tone down how you talk. Give it to the people how you give it.
All right. Oh, the parents are saying yes. So, all right, we're going to do it. All right, good. So let's get to it. Knife. A lot of how we're taught is very sporting, and that's nice. You have a training knife with you. Now, if I was to say to any of these people in this room with me, put your tool, you're the weapon. These are just tools. Put your tool on the ground. I guarantee you they would be able to pull tools off their body. Me too, unless I'm remiss in what I do. So there are certain things I have on right now. If I say, take out a tool, once again, you're the weapon, but this is a tool. That's one tool. Another tool, and I won't take all of the ones I have with me. This is another tool, right? That's another tool. This is another one. Because if you have three, one's taken away, you really only have two. So always expect at least have 3 tools on you, okay? I got another, and I'm gonna go through ones that you should carry, ones even the children can carry, okay? Which they won't be carrying blades. And we don't carry blades all the time. Let me put this over here. Keep grabbing that. So, one thing we can't be is athletes when it comes to our survival. You say, what? We want to be in shape now. But we cannot sportify our survival. A lot of what we've learned is sport. Let's just be real about it. And if you don't know, you'll know after today. If you think that what you have, you can survive with because you've been doing MMA for 6 months, I beg to differ. And if you've been doing 6 months for 10 years, but you've been training with a knife for 6 months, you're gonna go to the MMA. Under stress and duress, we go to what we most know, okay? That's why when you come into our class, one of the first things, if we're working on a knife, you're working on a knife, because you have to become part of the blade culture in order to survive out here, okay? One thing in sport, if you learn how to box and you're a righty, usually your right foot is back, that's your strong side, right? And you got your strong hand in front. That's usually how that's done, right? Now, that's good for sport because now I got this glove, I can really punch and knock somebody out. That's good. It travels a far distance. That's nice for sport. On the street, though, it's going to translate the same way. That's why boxing has permeated martial arts so much, because it's so sporting that now most martial artists, they fight with their strong side back. But if you watch ancient paintings of wrestlers, you watch paintings and sculptures of warriors, the strong side is forward. And I'll show you why. He has a knife in his strong side. I have my strong side back, and I have my, what you would call your weak side. Now, we always talk to put our best side forward, while in our survival, we put our weak side, our worst side forward. But anyway, so, and you should strengthen them, so it's really not your weak side, but it's not your strongest side. Now, this is forward. My tool is back. All he has to do is keep moving to that side. He's staying away from this. This is too far, and he's cutting the hell out of my arm. Now, he comes back here, and now my strong side's forward too. If he's foolish enough to move to that side, he gets cut. If he moves to this side, he gets cut. Because my tool is forward. I hope you understand that. That's just one of the things that makes what we do different than sport, okay? You say, well, that's what that, but empty-handed doesn't matter. Yeah, sure it does. If we're empty-handed, everything you do with the knife, you do with the empty hand. Can you get that pad real quick? Oh, and I hope you're ready to work today because you're going to be working too. That's fine. Hold that one up so they can see. So from here, if I strike forehand diagonal to cut, and then I strike, bring that one up, backhand diagonal to cut, forehand diagonal, backhand diagonal. I can do that with the knife. If I have a stick in my hand, I can go forehand diagonal, backhand diagonal. Or I can go forehand diagonal if I want to attack that same side, backhand diagonal, because I can use this stick either way, okay? If it's just my hand, I can go forehand diagonal, smack the taste out of his mouth, backhand diagonal, smack the taste out of his mouth. Forehand, backhand. It all moves the same because who's the weapon? You. You're the weapon. Those are just tools. So you can use tools the exact way because you're the weapon. So I can go 1, 2, 3, right? And I can go 1, 2, 3. Same thing. Same thing. So if we're empty-handed, he has his strong side forward. I have mine back. I go to strike him. Now his strong hand is not just stronger, it's more dexterous, it's more supple. I go to punch with this side, he's able to work more things. So he's able to really work me because that is dealing with his stronger side. Now we switch. I go strong side, he goes that side. Now I go and work me the same way. It's not as smooth. He's able to do that because we work our left and right side. He's gonna do it again. This side. Now work this side. Much smoother and quicker on that side. You would be too because that's his strong side, okay? So we don't want to sportify things. Number one, strong side forward, okay? That's number one. So if you're walking down the street and there's an encounter, you want to bring your strong side forward. Once your strong foot is forward, strong hand is forward, you want to raise that back foot. Even if people who have encountered me, if you're talking to me, I have one foot forward, the other foot slightly raised so you don't notice it too much, and I'm talking to you, I'm in that position. Always, okay? You can be in this position, your feet side by side, shoulder width apart, have your hands up. That's the number one when you're being spoken to. For those who are in crowds, which right now you shouldn't be unless you're in an uprising. I didn't say a protest, I said an uprising, right? If you're in an uprising against the state, against oppression, there's many people out there, and the police are facing you. Don't stand against the police like this, arms down. Don't stand crumping, twerking. I think the people here have enough sense not to do that, right? Have your hands up. Do not have your hands, you'll hear people talk about offense. People who've taken martial arts from folks that were police and all that, they'll talk about offense. Don't do that either. These are your goodies. So, can you get that training line? If I have my goodies up and I'm like this, and he cuts across there, well, you got tendons, ligaments, you got your artery on this side. But if I give him this side, that's just muscle. Now, it would be terrible to get my muscle open, but not as bad as this. So you meet him here. sir, what's the problem? Don't beat him like this. That's too obvious, but unless you're actually in it. Sir, what's the problem? Okay, that's how you want to meet your enemy. You say, well, how can I grab him from there? If he attacks, I can grab from there. I just move my arms. I move my arms. Yes. So another thing, if he's slashing, no blocks, no blocks. When blocks are happening like that, blocks, he's thrust, I'm blocking. I know that's all sport. I know that's all sport, okay? Don't sportify your survival. Because if he goes to slash and I block, he's going to pull back, I'm open up now. That's not fun. Or he goes to slash, worse, I block, and he cuts. Now he's opening up all those goodies again. He goes to thrust, and I heave. He turns that up and cuts, and I get cut again in the goodies. That's not how you want to deal with this knife. Number one, if he slashes with a knife, I want to deal with the back of my hand if I don't have a tool. But I should never be caught outside without a tool. If a person pulls a knife on you and they aggressively want to stab you, or they pull out a nightstick, or whatever it may be, you are going to be pumping, your heart is going to be pumping Kool-Aid. You can say what you want, but to be faced with a knife wielder, one, if he's angry, that's scary itself. He's just slashing and going crazy. But if he's skilled, that's terrifying. So you have to know how to properly deal. The best way to do that is to have a tool yourself. All right? So he pulls out a knife, and he won't touch me this time. This is a real knife. That's a training knife. He pulls out a knife, I pull out one. I would say train because you got to know what you're doing, but we always assume that he's trained. That means, so I bring my A game and so I train. He goes to cut me, he's going to have to pay a price. If he wins the engagement, it's better than if I didn't have anything, okay? That's number one. Number two, come out here, you follow me, stay there, I can move on. How much do you weigh?
115.
115 she weighs. How much do you weigh? 240. He's more than twice her weight. Put that knife down. He doesn't have a knife. It's just his hand. And you expect her to box with him? Stop it. Say, well, you can use the weight against him. You absolutely can. But once again, he's trained. He's a master instructor. You don't train for the Joe on the street. Anybody that teaches you that, they're ignorant. They're ignorant of survival. So they say train for the person on the street, not train for the master assassin, not train for the expert cop, not the old beat cop. Because if you can win against the expert trained cop, the SWAT operative, you can win against the beat cop. I hope y'all understand what I'm saying. All right, so in this case, they're knuckled up. Common sense tells you he's well trained. He's more trained than her and way bigger. He's going to win this engagement. She'll be shedding blood. But if she brings out an equalizer and he does not, now she has a chance. This here is just a marker. It's just a marker. It's made of polymer, so it's hard. And all you got to do is hammer, hammer, hammer. Now, if she has this in her hand, and he grabs her body, right? And she places this in the muscle here and presses down. Press. He's dropping to his knees. Now she just hammers to the back of his head. She hammers to his ear. She hammers to his face, and he'll be letting her go. All right. Grab her again. Grab her arm this time like you just did.
Now he grabs her arm. As strong as he may be, grab it like you did. That's good. His thumb is not as strong as her arm and her whole body. So what you do is take your whole arm and body, step forward, raise your arm like you answer the phone. And she gets out. You say, no, it wasn't. No, that can't be. I challenge any of you brothers, grab your wife, grab her wrist, and if she does that, she's going to get out, okay? And once she gets out, can I see this? Once she gets out, then she just presses his arm out the way and hammers, 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 hammers again. This is called a pocket shark. It costs, what, about $6? $5. Online, you can get it, okay? It's a polymer. So it's very hard. You can hit concrete with that. It's not going to break. It will break bone. It's not going to break, okay? If you don't have this, you can use king-sized, what do you call, Sharpie marker. You can use a king-size Sharpie marker if you don't have this. Here's a king-size Sharpie marker. Sharpie marker, king-size. I'll do the same. He grabs. I just answer the phone. That's all. Step forward, answer the phone. I can just answer the phone because I understand his body mechanics, but he's grabbing hard. You're small. Use your whole body. Step towards him. Not away. Step towards him. Press that arm down. His head comes forward. You slam that into his neck. You slam it into his face. Put your thumb on top to cap it so it doesn't slide out. Eventually, you want to train it so your fingers are strong enough you don't have to use your thumb at all. But right now, you're what we call weak bone. That means you haven't trained this enough. So it will slide out on you. So just put the thumb there for now and go to work. Hammer it. That's all. All right? So that's what you want to do with that. Everybody should have that at least. And if you can get yourself a knife, get yourself a nice folding knife. I got the small one. I got the small one here. This is a tiny knife.
Stay on the mat.
I carry that in my pocket. This is actually my tertiary knife. If I'm on the ground or something, I had to get off the ground, I would go to work on the person, and that would get me free. Now, this is a fixed blade knife. Much quicker to pull. I don't have to pull it, then open it. I pull it, and it's open. It's already ready to go, okay? And it's nice and heavy. I like a heavier blade. All right. This one is made specifically for combat. You can get knives that are utility knives that you can hammer with and things of that nature as well, okay? This is a karambit. Now this karambit costs about $190, $200. That's on sale. It's made of titanium. You don't have to go that far with you can get a karambit for probably about $15, $16, $20, okay? This one, you just hold in your hand and you box with it. It's very intuitive because it curves, so you don't have to do anything else. You just box with it. So if you know how to box, you put that in your hand, that just makes your boxing more dangerous, all right? This can also do other things like impact weapon and things like that nature. You know, you don't want to be doing all of that, flipping it and all that kind of stuff. Just cut with it. It's like a talon of a tiger, okay? Cut, you can punch, and it thrust into them, those things, all right? So those are the things you can, on your screws. Those are things you can do with the karambit. So those are some of the knives you can get. A karambit, it can be folding or fixed blade. You can get a folding knife. You can get yourself a fixed blade knife. You can get yourself, everybody should have a Sharpie marker. You can take that on planes and all that. Or that other one we had is called a pocket shark. the one that's made from polymer. You can take that on a plane too. It says on their Pocket Shark, I would advise to sandpaper that off. Now it just looks like a black marker. And if you open it up, there's a marker. You screw it back together, you can go to work with it. You can take that anywhere for your survival. Once again, you need a great equalizer, not just sisters, brothers too. Me, I'm 52 years old. And yes, I'm trained. I'm not trying to be out here scrapping with folks. I pull that Pocket Shark, go to work. Or I pull something else. Now, somebody may say, well, what about firearms? Because somebody made the thing about self-defense. One of my students was talking about self-defense. And somebody else said, well, he said, you don't post self-defense videos. Yes, I do. I post about people shooting all the time. It has become a trend to call gunplay self-defense. So that's what people start to think of as self-defense. Using a firearm is martial arts. And we really say self-protection, not so much self-defense. Self-defense means you're attacking me, I'm responding. Self-protection is, first of all, I try to avoid it. That's the highest level, right? I avoid you, but if I cannot avoid you and violence is inevitable, you become the victim quickly. Because whoever's the victim, they're being led in the dance of death, right? So, I can move like you can move real quick. After this, we're about to do some work. I want to take some questions from you, and we're going to work what you want to know about. But if he is coming at me, back up a little bit and just start coming at me. He's coming at me drilling, and I'm trying to block, right? He's controlling the dance. He's coming at me, and I'm blocking. He is controlling the dance. He's blocking, punching, I'm blocking. He's leading the dance. If he punches, I step off. He has to do what to reach me? What does he have to do? He has to turn. And when he turns, now I am in control because I'm leading the dance. I stepped off the line. That changed the parameters of the dance. Now, it ain't a waltz no more. Now we pop lock. Now he got to turn towards me. And when he turns towards me, he gives it up. And when he gives up his back like that, then I pull my tool and go to work. You say, but his back is there. His front was there at first. And he was trying to do me harm. Now he's just unlucky to have his back to me. And when you give an opponent your back, you become an ancestor. So there I'll go ahead and give it to his kidneys, and more, I go ahead and end that, okay? So you dictate the dance by getting off the line. You don't face against a person. You don't think like a victim. He punches, I block. I've been to workshops, people say, see, when the bad guy attacks you, then you block. That is so foolish. When the bad guy attacks, so if he doesn't attack, we just stand here waiting. I say, whoo, boy, when you attack me, I'm gonna block the hell out of your punch. That doesn't make any sense. Okay? He tells you, I'm gonna kick your so-and-so. You don't have to wait. At that point, he's told you his intention. If you don't understand that, let me make it clearer. You're walking with your child. A person looks and says, I'm gonna slap that little bastard in the mouth. You gonna wait? Absolutely not. So why would you wait for somebody to attack you? It makes no sense. It doesn't make mathematical. It doesn't make philosophical. No sense. So if someone says they're going to attack you, verbally or non-verbally, defend yourself. When I say non-verbally, if I'm walking and he's walking by me and he just, well, I'll do it to you. No, I'll do it to, come over. She's walking by. Yeah. I don't have to say nothing. All I got to do, well, she's just standing in line and I'm standing. She has to be prepared to defend herself. Now, she don't have to just slit my throat because I'm looking like that. Obviously, he's got some problems. Yeah. she should be prepared, right? If she just keeps standing there all nonchalant, she's gonna get grabbed. I was in a restaurant with Akim Bobola, and a fool who knows what I do grabbed me. Just to see what I would do. That was the stupidest thing ever. So you have people out here with problems. Because obviously that's the problem. He grabbed me, I pulled him in, I was about to do him in. And I saw him at the last minute and I just hugged him. Still controlling him just in case he wasn't just being foolish, okay? So that's just, and that was in a restaurant. That was in Soul Vegetarian restaurant. So a lot of people were in there too. So, you know, obviously got problems. So imagine this person doesn't know you. Some people with serious problems. How many sisters have walked by, the dude goes, pss, 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 pss. She doesn't say nothing, he calls her a B. That's a problem. He goes into an act of aggression towards you, calling you out your name because you won't stop and talk. Well, how far can it go? There are people that sit at home and because of your skin color or because of your gender, they want your life. They want to kill you. If you don't think it's white folks who just imagine and fantasize about our demise, you got another thing coming. I went to school with them. When I was a little boy, I'm in the bathroom. I'm listening to two other boys coming in. They didn't know I was in there. They said, one day, Daddy said, one day, we're going to kill all the niggers. This is how they think. I come out the bathroom. They say, if you heard us, we were just playing. See? At that point, I was 10 then. I learned to watch my back around them. I never had a like for them. But I learned to really watch my back around them at that point. There are dudes who hate women just because they women. Doesn't matter, they came from a woman like we all did. They hate women. And they would love to see you dead. Or there are some who lust for women and would take from you what is precious to you. You can't allow that. I was teaching that. You can't allow yourself to be raped. And a woman, white woman, I'm teaching black women, a white woman sitting there watching, she says, well, don't teach them that. You have to, because it depends. If they defend themselves, he may do more harm. Stop it. He's murdering your spirit. Defend yourself, just like you were defending your physical life. If any questions, type them. We'll get to it. If not, we're going to work a technique. I'm going to show you how to use this pocket shark in a minute. Any questions? Don't be ashamed. That's another thing. In the martial arts world, people are ashamed to say they don't know. Because ego, everybody want to feel like they can defend themselves. Most of us don't have a clue. There's no shame in that. Hell, I don't know how to fix an airplane. And if you ask me to fix an airplane for you, don't fly in it. Because you'll be finished. So I don't have no shame in telling you I can't fix an airplane. I can't. And if somebody said, well, I'll teach you, I can teach you in 15 minutes, I would have my doubts, but I sure would take that class. All right? I still would advise you not to fly with my flag. So we're about to get to some pocket shark work.
There's a few comments, but no actual questions.
There's some comments. Let me see
Couple
here.
questions.
The term self-defense is used for legal protection if the threat is actually eliminated. The terminology indicates the victim was under attack. Yes. In law, you say you're the victim. You have to be a chameleon. Our car was broken into. My wife called the police. Police pulls up. First question he asked me is not, are you all right? What was taken? First question he asked me, do you have a firearm? What does that have to do with our car being broken into? yeah, you have to be a chameleon. Oh, no, sir. I don't have no gun, sir. In fact, I'm an atheist, and I wish I had enough money to buy a gun, but I wouldn't. No ways, cause I'm a pacifist. Please. I'm thinking to myself, got one right here, but I'm not gonna tell him that. So same way, yeah, in court it was self-defense, but I don't want you thinking with the mindset of a victim. But your words can be, I was the victim, yes. Well, you were a victim. How did you end up breaking both his arms? I was so distraught. I was just swinging this pocket shot, well, don't even say pocket shot. I was swinging this marker. That's all I could get my hands on. And I just happened to catch the small bones in his hand and they shattered. I don't know what, I guess I had the strength of Jesus. And Jesus empowered me. And then I swung again. I broke his collarbone. I don't know how that happened. And then I swung, I broke a thing. I didn't even know what it was until the police told me I ruptured this Abdullah oblongata. I don't even know what that is. Be a chameleon, okay? Be a victim in court, on paper, not in your mind, all right? All right, so we're gonna get to some pocket shark things. In fact, all y'all can come over real quick because the first thing you gotta do is be able to deploy this.
I'm trying to put this in landscape view.
If you can't deploy it, which means to pull it and it's ready to work, not just draw it, you have to be able to deploy. That's gonna flip off there.
Isn't that what this is for? Yeah. This part.
Oh, jump.
But it leans upwards.
Ifa tells us the things we want to do, it's going to be women to make it happen. And I'm seeing it happen live right here. Oh, so yeah, you got to just change it, but you got to change it back now. No, so
That's good. That's good. Yeah.
So we want to deploy this first. If you don't have a pocket shark, you got a marker, if you got an ink pen, put it in your pocket. If you got the clip, put the clip in there. If not, just have it sticking out your pocket a little bit. And you want to slip your thumb inside to touch it. Then your fingers touch it. Then you use that to pull out. Don't look down at it. And then just let it drop into your hand and you're ready to go. Okay, I'll do that again. Then they're going to do it on my count. You put your, I don't know if they can see. You put your thumb inside your pocket. It's cool. You put your thumb inside your pocket. Okay? Put your fingers on top of it. You can feel it inside your pocket. Now slide it out. If you're having trouble sliding it, kind of move towards the back, slide out. It'll slide right out. Drop it into your hand. And now step forward. If it's in your right hand, step your right foot forward. If it's in your left hand, step your left foot forward. Bring the other hand behind it, under your chin. You can touch your chest if you want to. Just don't have it out in front, okay? We're going to do that on the numbers. If you could do it with me, or do it with them, it'll be good. Ready? I'm assuming, can you come to the front and go sideways like you just doing? Oh, they seeing you on there. Okay, cool. Ready? Hit! And you're ready to go. When you put it back in your pocket, try not to look. That's just getting used to where your tools are. Again, hit. You want to try to have that ready, deployed in less than a second, all right? Ready, hit. Now, when I say hit, you're going to deploy and then give them a 2 and a 3. I'm talking angles. So that's a 2, it's a 4-hand diagonal downward, and 3 is a backhand diagonal downward. 4-hand diagonal downward, backhand diagonal downward. Ready, hit. Do that again. Your idea of your targets, come over, I'm assuming real quick. He's knuckled up with me. He can have a tool, it doesn't matter. When I deploy, it's his hand. Why? Because his hand is the delivery system of that tool. That means it's more dangerous than his face. He's not smacking me with his face. He won't hit me in the collarbone with his face. So that's not my target. My target is what's most dangerous to me. And right now, that's his hand. Okay? We call that the delivery system, or we call that doing structural damage. And the reason why is because I can also attack his knee. If I attack his knees and crack his kneecap, well, he's not fighting me either. But right now, I got to get to that. So first, I want to hurt that hand. So it'll be 1 to his fingers, 2 to the back of his hand. If he had it in his other hand, the first strike would be to the back of the hand, the second strike to the fingers. The difference, back of the hand, that's with that downward forehand. Fingers with the back forehand. He switches hands, fingers with the downward forehand, back of the hand with the back downward. Y'all got me? So it's going to change based on what hand, but you don't care. You're just attacking his delivery system. You don't care what hand he's holding it in. You don't care if it's in front or back. You keep yours in front and you're attacking his delivery system. It's best if I'm going to attack that hand over there to go over there. Okay? That's best because I don't want to attack over the hand. If he has it in that hand, if I go like this, well, he's going to push that up there. He's going to do something and it's going to get in my way. I'm going to knock it out the way, but I don't want that in my way. So if it's over there, boom, I hit it. Okay? So on hit, you're going to come out 1, 2. If I say hit, you come out 2. So I'll do the numbers. Should I do the numbers because I want to confuse them? I'll just say 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay? If I say hit, that's 2, 1. All right? Hit, 1, 2. The forehand comes out first. If I say hit, backhand comes out first. And remember, their hand is your target. Ready? Hit. Go back. Ready? Hit. Remember, it's your backhand first. Let's try that one again. Ready? Hit. Backhand, forehand. Good. Ready? Hit. Forehand, backhand. Ready? Hit. Backhand, forehand. Oh. She's on the side doing push-ups. When you drop your tool, a good training thing is to do 40 push-ups. If you got 1 in each hand, that's 40 for each hand that you drop, right? Or if I drop 1, I still do 80 if I got 2 in my hand. The reason why is because 1, it strengthens the tendons in your arm so you aren't dropping it. 2, it's a reminder of how important this is and that losing your tool can cause you pain. So that's why she's over there doing it. We ain't crazy, we know something. All right, so now, when I say hit, you're gonna go 1, 2, 2, 1. I'm just gonna say hit, and you're doing 4 attacks. Now, if this was combatively, I'd be here. He's knuckled up with me, right? I want you using that. You're gonna go 1, 2, 2, 1. He's like, woo, if he slips up, he's gonna tear my face up. I'm not gonna, and it'll be his hand. That's why I go your hand, because I rather your face catch this in your hand, trust me. But if you hear, you can boom, 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 boom. You can just do a bunch of 2s. It's okay. That's all you can remember. Don't even remember. Just do. Don't remember in combat. Remember in training. And then work. on the street, you just put in work. If you say I did a 27, don't worry about it. As long as you live, who cares? Ready? So you're going. When I say hit, you're going boom, 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 boom. Okay. Ready? Hit. Ready? Hit. Ready? Hit. Good. Let me make a couple of points about how to strike with this. If I'm striking him, don't strike, come all the way through. Now with a blade, sometimes we do, if I'm attacking his arm, I want to cut his wrist off, his fist off, actually. But with this, hit, come back, hit, circle, hit, circle. Same way, if you use a knife, you hit, you circle. The reason why, like I said, this, if I go to hit him and fade, he fades and then he comes forward at this arm, I may not get it up. So instead, I hit, he fades, oh, then I'm ready to go again. So don't swing all the way through like that. You don't have to. Just crack it. You're just trying to crack that. Same way if I was hitting him. If he goes to punch, I go off, boom, and I hit him, boom, I'm hitting him there. I'm not going, woo, and my back is turned to him, and then I catch one. Okay, I hit him, boom. Then I go there. The whole time I'm in control, he does not have my back at all. I got his though. If I can hit him like this, I have his back. He just don't know it. I mean, he knows because he's trained. So if I'm in here, if I hit here, I have his back. You just change from a strike to a grapple, right? And I got his back. Do not let somebody get your back, if at all possible, okay? So when you strike in that circle. Don't give him too much. Boom, come back. Boom, come back. Boom, come back, okay? Hit, come back. Hit, come back. Don't hit through like this. Even if I had a knife, now if I had a sword, can you hand me my machete? A machete, for all intents and purposes, is a short sword. If I use a machete, you say, how much did you come with? I come with all kinds of tools. Some you'll never see, like a firearm. You'll never see me with a firearm on video or camera. Never. Some people use it. Me, what I do with my life, what my students do with me, I'm not going to endanger them. I don't want them endangering me by people showing pictures of me with a firearm. Because they try to make you like you know, he shot up the so-and-so building. If I shoot up anything, you'll never know it, right? People like, we need brothers to put in work for the sisters. We do. If they put in work for you and they know what they're doing, it's a thankless job because you'll never know. So you'll never know to thank them. Just always remember that. This, if I wanted to cut him, everybody's standing back, that is hilarious. If I wanted to cut him, I would cut through with this. He's not too likely to be stepping in to pin my arm if I'm swinging this, right? But even then, I come up in a circle to a safe place. So I cut, I come up. If he comes again, I cut him again, okay? That's how that works, right? But most of the time, if it's a short weapon, it's hitting, circling, okay? Circling. This I want to just chop through because I want to amputate or decapitate, okay? All right. Any questions they have? Give me a time check for me. 5:52. We got a few minutes, so any questions?
We have Bomani that was saying, very familiar with these strikes from my training in Kali. And and was saying defang the snake is what I was taught.
Yeah, so, go ahead, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, we have Keisha, can we know what to do when a group attacks you?
Yeah, good. Okay.
And then we have 10-minute warning, 8-minute warning. Okay.
All right, we'll do the group. Now, I'll say this about defanging the snake. The Filipino arts, I was doing a thing called the One Root Project to show that the Filipino, Indonesian, and West African at a minimum, but I've also discovered South African arts too. Martial arts all have one root. It's been proven that the karambit, can you give me your karambit real quick? I got mine in my bag, but I don't know because of time. Yeah, training was good. It's been proven that the karambit, it comes from the Ada of the Yoruba people and other West Africans have it, they hold it like this. The Indonesians held it like this, and their genius is they added a ring to it. And that ring allows us to strike. It allows you to hit with it as an impact weapon and bring it back to cut. So it made it a more versatile tool. The reason why you can take this tool and make it a more versatile tool is because you're what? You're the weapon. So you know how to manipulate tools. Now that also talks to cross-pollination between cultures. But it's also known that Indonesians got their cloth. Now they say we got our cloth from them. Come on, man. We've been around for billions of years, some say at least millions. The kente cloth, the cloth they wear is similar to kente cloth. One or the other gave it to the other. It wasn't just discovered. Because that one's odd. Kente cloth isn't just cloth you wear, it has a language. And the language of the Indonesians' cloth is almost identical to the language of the Akan cloth. So there's cross-pollination in some of these things. Not all, but some. So when you talk about defanging the snake, we call that beheading the snake. It's the same type of mindset. Except the only difference is I ain't reaching in and ain't no African, reaching in no snake's mouth and taking his fangs out. We're gonna cut that bad boy's head off. It's gonna get the same thing done. Make sense? All right, so multiple attackers. The key point to remember about multiple attackers is, well, a couple things. One, you're at a disadvantage. Anybody tells you, I go into a room, I wreck 20 people, get out of here. I had some students of mine tell me when I was back in Chicago, you can beat 20 people. I said, no, sir. And one brother said, well, I wanted to say 200, but that sounded too unrealistic. I said, dude, I cannot beat 20 people. I know how to get away from 20 people. And he said, man, you can beat 20 people. All the skill you got, they're arguing with me, telling me I can beat 20 people. The reason why is because they've been training with me for a couple of years, so they figure if I can beat 20, they can beat 5. No, you can't. If you go into multiple attackers thinking I'm gonna beat all of them, you're already in trouble. The first thing should be on your mind is getting the hell out of here. That should be the first. And if you can't, you should not be thinking of doing this. Whoa! Whoa! You should not be thinking of kung fu-ing a bunch of people. We've done it in class. I was like, okay, y'all two attack me. And empty hand, I'm gonna get grabbed, dumped. Had a stick in my hand though, and I went against Akimbola and Aku. And I disarmed both of them. But before I disarmed them, Aku had whacked me in my ear, and he busted my eardrum. You're gonna suffer something. And people, they weren't even concentrating on that. They concentrated on the fact I did pretty disarm. Woo, look at that disarm. I'm the one that said, stop, hey, tap. Because I got hit in my ear. They went home and said, that was a nice thing, move Baba did. I'm at home saying, oh dear, give me the salve. For 6 weeks. So who really won that? So try to get away. That's a stick. A stick is deadly. Not as deadly as that was knives. Now, if there had been a knife cutting me, it may have just cut my ear in half. That's gonna grow back. It's gonna hurt. It's gonna grow back. But it may have been my eye. I just disarmed them, and they just got the heck away from me. Okay. So, key point is get away. But if you're here, you're here. If they're like this, I want you to remember your strong side. And so if I'm dealing with her and he moves, do not try to come all the way around to my strong side. At this point, this is why we train multiple sides, by the way. If I'm dealing with her and he makes a move, I got to be able to deal with him from this non-dominant side. Now it does come forward. But if I'm sitting here going like this, empty-handed, I'm going to catch one. However, you hand me that training knife?
Excuse me, Baba. You have you have 2 minutes.
I got 2 minutes. I'll just say this. I'm like this against both of them. Now I'm going to cut the heck out of them. So always have a tool with you, mainly pocket sharp, but for those that can carry, particularly children, make sure you got markers. Don't carry a knife right now. But adults, carry a knife, not in your purse, on your person. All right, thank you. If you want to get with me, you can find me on Facebook, Balogun Ojetade, on Instagram. I'm always open to train, not so much to talk. I'm a doer. Thank you, and have a blessed day. This has been a great event. I've been honored to be here, and I'll be in classes tomorrow too. Thank you. Peace.
Also look Baba up on Amazon. He's an author. He has great books. He has great books. Please go to Amazon. Get his books. His books are great for the children. They're great for the young. They're great for self-defense. He has a book on Harriet Tubman where she is a superhero and she is bad. So don't forget that. He ain't tell you that. He's a warrior scholar of the highest order. So make sure you check him.
We're gonna post some links to the books in the chat right now.
And I thank the assistant instructors, full instructor, and master instructor for helping me out.
Thank you, Baba.
They've been a great help to me the whole time. Thank you.
We're about to post that in the group in the chat right now.
Buck front, yeah. Shot. Intro to O, and my dude that Timbuktu the Ave. For renew your passion, shun the condition, and not the who, what, when, where, and you are from. At last. Put the higher in hierarchy. Climber, painter, preacher, no primer, reppin' Garvey, and all that's godly. Sorry, I can't relate, I'm warrior Masi. Zulu pull up on Fasi and catch a body. Enemies near and far declaring.